This is 99% Invisible.
The most fascinating thing to me about courtroom illustration is that it still exists. Because you can't really talk about courtroom illustration without addressing the elephant not in the room. Photography. It's attention that came to a head for the first time in 1932.
Chung chung.
Look at this scene. A courtroom so packed that there's not an inch of space available, while excited chatter and buzz filled the air.
At this time, motion picture cameras, which had only recently entered the courtroom, were these clunky masses of metal that took up a lot of space and made a whirring noise. And even still photographers weren't subtle.
A still photographer had those old-fashioned light bulbs in their camera that to give you the flash, and the reporters would take the bulb out of the light and then toss it on the floor where to make a popping sound.
Many in the judicial system believed that the presence of photographers, newsreels, and other journalists made a complete mockery of the court.
Everyone knows when the camera's in the courtroom. But you've got someone like me sitting on the front row quietly sketching, no one really knows what I'm doing. They can't see what I'm doing.
We wait for that moment. I'm sure every illustrator will tell you the same thing. You wait for the aha moment. I mean, it's, somebody collapsing or screaming or gesturing or jumping over a table to try and strangle someone. I mean, that's like gold.
One of my favorite pieces of courtroom art is from another illustrator named Bill Robles. He documented the trial of Charles Manson, and at one point, Manson became so agitated that he lunged across the courtroom to attack the judge. Manson had his arms outstretched, while a bailiff tackled him around the waist. Robles had just a split second to scratch out the frantic scene using a pen and markers. Stylistically, it almost looks like an illustration from a deranged Roald Dahl book.
There are some trials that people generally agree are better served by courtroom artists than by cameras.
But camera advocates think that if actually seeing our justice system in action makes you angry, maybe it's because you should be angry. You can't fix a system if you can't see it's broken.